So we're working on the F10 M5 today on some maintenance related stuff that I've kind of put off for some time because this engine is just not easy to work on. So like I said, a little bit of maintenance. We're gonna be doing the ignition coils and the spark plugs. And of course, we're gonna casually top off the oil in the S63 engine. These engines really do suffer from oil consumption. Some cars have it worse than others. I wouldn't say mine is the worst, but the last time we changed the oil was about 1,000 miles and I already need 1 quart of oil. But to be fair, to make a lot of these videos, I have been pushing the car to the limits. And it's just one of the traits of the S63. Even in the manual, it talks about oil consumption being a normal thing. Some people have to top it off every 800 miles, and then people like me, every 1,000 to 1,500 miles, you have to add 1 quart of oil. So we'll be installing 8 brand new ignition coils and 8 brand new spark plugs for the F10 M5. Very good brand. I've been using this brand since I had the E93 335. Believe it or not, these are the same coils. You'll go online and you'll search, let's say M5 coils, and you'll get a different option that is almost 3 times more expensive. Same goes for the F80, F82, M3, and M4, but you can literally buy the 335 and 54 ones and they work the same way. And quite honestly, I think they're the same exact ones as well. As far as the NGK spark plugs, these are not factory ones. They're 2-step Coil from NGK. Part number 97506. Same ones I used on the E93, same ones I used on the E90 335, and the same ones I'm going to be using on the F10 M5. I like this combination so much that I actually started selling both the Delphi coils and the NGK spark plugs on my website. I'll leave links down in the description below. You guys gave me feedback before that you wanted some maintenance parts on the website, so we made that happen. So if you guys want to help support vehicle buyers directly, we have these in stock and ready to go. If you're experiencing any kind of misfire on your BMW, spark plugs are normally the best way to start. It's a cheaper route and very easy to do at home, followed by the coils. Normally, if that doesn't fix the issue, then you're moving on to like the high pressure fuel pump or injectors. Hopefully that's not the case. But these are very good maintenance items. And if you have a tuned N54, N55, S55, S63, these NGK spark plugs are the way to go. Don't go OEM. Just in case you guys haven't noticed, I did lose my voice and I've been struggling with this for like 3 days now. It's getting better, but I didn't want to wait any longer to make videos for you guys. So just so you guys know, this is normally not what my voice sounds like. I've had these spark plugs and coils for like 3 months. Every time I pop the hood to the M5, I'll stare at the engine bay for like 30 seconds, close the hood, and then convince myself to install them another day. And it's been 3 months later. It's such a tight configuration in here that whenever you're doing any kind of maintenance or even performance mods, like the CSF charge coolers or RK titanium front mount intakes, it feels like you have to remove everything just to work on any particular thing within the S63. Same goes for the spark plugs and coils. You do have access to the front ones here and there, relatively easy, but once you get to the rear, oh, it's a whole different animal. You have 2 DMEs, one on this side and that side, which partially have to be removed. I'm not entirely sure about the bracket that holds them, but we'll find out. The expansion tank here, or these tanks to put coolant in, I think they have to come off. And it just becomes such a cluster back there that it convinces me not to do that. But I'm going to suck it up today and make this video for you guys and hopefully learn a thing or two. Especially because I'm that guy that preaches maintenance first before performance. You guys are very aware of that if you guys have been following the channel for a while. I didn't do that with the M5 just because it was in very good shape. When I purchased it from Warwick of BMW, those guys did a pretty extensive job as far as servicing, but the stock spark plugs just didn't hold up, especially after I tuned the car, started getting misfire, so it's time to do it.
Unicorn is alive.
Hey, I work on my own cars, by the way. Just the small stuff. Wow, satisfying. I think this is enough room though. Oh my God, it's all connected.
We'll just leave that alone.
By the way, we have power tools, and on here we are using flathead screwdrivers.
It's called you're
trying to
relatable.
Want to be relatable? All right, I think that's gonna be good enough. Oh, pull it. Yep.
Juicy.
There we go. By the way, the reason we're removing, well, not really removing, but loosening up the expansion tank here is just to give us a little bit more room to remove the coils and the spark plugs. Same thing goes for the power steering tank thing over there. It's just such a tight fit here. Everything's just squished together. You have to have as much room as possible to work on these engines.
I think spark plugs, like labor time is like 4 hours or something.
For these cars?
Stupid. Yeah.
That's insane. Relatable.
Look at those finger actions.
Relatable. Yeah. Does anybody want to edit and film for me? I don't know if I'm serious about that. I'm very picky, but I never know.
You can hire me. I started $1,000 an hour.
Yep. You're fired. So then we got the DMEs to worry about, right?
Wait.
Well, I was gonna move it out the way because you look, you have access to 1 and 2.
Yep.
1 and 2. So the two, like I said, the front ones are relatively easy to get to. Look, they're already right here. It's the ones that are back here. They're a pain, even after you remove some of the stuff.
So to do this, technically you have to have the battery disconnected.
Because you gotta remove the ground.
Yes.
See, this is when this guy comes into play because I don't know what the hell's going on after this point.
So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do it one side. Well, actually, I'll show you this side because
I thought you can still pull this out.
you can pull it out, but the ground and everything gets in the way.
Watch the candy.
Zip ties are your best friend because it holds things in place while you remove other stuff.
So the ground wire is back here.
That's the first time I've seen it done to change spark plugs, but he said it gets in the way, so I guess that's the most effective way to do it.
So it's a 10 mil behind the DME.
If that nut falls in there, that's a wrap. So you're actually gonna pull all the connectors out.
Yep. You can do this.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It would be enough room. I don't even think you need to unplug it.
Yeah, but look, that's all you have. The harness is still plugged in. You unplug this. Unplug this. Unplug this. So there's a bracket here that holds the wire in. So you want to remove those. This one is a pull type, upwards, and it locks in like that.
So each connector is proprietary. You can't mess them up. Because you said some of them are pull, some of them are like flipped.
So these three are obviously all different, and they're different shape. These three, they look identical, but most
So you
of
want to make sure you label them, no?
I mean, you can.
But he remembers. This guy's good at remembering.
I already know all of these connectors, so I don't have to. But you can't just plug them in and think that it's gonna work because you can bend the pins and do all kinds of dumb.
Wow, look at all that room. You guys can see we have the coil right here and the coil right here. So you got those two. You get the two on this side. And that's pretty much how you make the room. Do you have to remove this brace to get that one out?
No, you don't have to remove the brace. This coil is kind of a pain in the ass to remove, but most of the time you can, wiggle it through and.
That's why I was talking about the shield because it's right over that.
Yeah, but like you unplug it, pull off the wire,
And then you snake it out.
and then snake it out, like so.
Ah, the trick is rotating it. So that's the trick. You got to rotate it.
Looks like you had Delphi coils in it already. This one is easy to pull out. You just.
This man got mechanic hands, man. That's why he can do that with his finger. I'm using a flathead all day. Toasty.
Bosh. Garbage.
I wouldn't say they're garbage. I would just say that they're not good for our application, which is a tuned S63.
Garbage.
I'm telling you guys, these spark plugs just did not stand a chance. You see that?
This one's got knocked.
This one got gaga. Here you go, guys. Replacement NGK, ones that the S63 had on. Huge difference. So these NGK ones do not come pre-gapped like the OEM ones. We're gonna gap it to 0.022, which is normally the same that we do on tuned N54s. Some people do 0.020. Just kind of depends. We'll do 0.022. We'll see how the car reacts to it, but I think we'll be fine that way. So we're gonna use this tool right here to gap the spark plug. You can use something like this, or very similar. To 0.022. We won't really show that on the camera. I don't think there's any point to it, so we'll talk to you guys after that's done.
Pro tip: when you do plugs, don't just throw them in there.
No, because you're gonna mess up the gap.
You're gonna mess up the gap. Plus, you can crack them, and I don't think you want to redo this job again. Use a magnetic socket, magnet. This is like a Matco spark plug special tool, whatever. Something that makes your spark plug just go in easy. Without all the
dropping them in.
Yeah.
0.0.
0.022 turned into a 0.018.
Not much to it at this point, guys. Once you have everything out of the way, you get the spark plug in there, obviously with the magnetic tool. Tighten them up, hand tight then, torque spec them down. Obviously you have all the tools necessary, like multiple extensions.
On an extension.
Yeah, multiple extensions. You can snake it through, get it in the hole, and tighten it up.
Coil, same deal, not rocket science. You just
Same like any other car. The only difference is the clearance here, that's all. You got the connector, connect it, push it in, pull the flap down, which this guy's struggling to do.
Yep, I am. Because it won't go in.
Can you imagine that those coils are actually not the same? So, we just got schooled. We got schooled, and we're not afraid to share with you guys the mistake that we made today. Because we can easily edit it and make it seem like we knew what we were talking about the entire time. Gonna show you guys the mistake.
It's not a good one.
No.
I mean, it's an easy fix.
It's an easy fix, but
it's just,
let's show you. So the coils look identical, right? You got the old one here,
everything looks,
old one here, new one here.
everything looks the same, you know, all of it is the same. I bet you if you plug this in, it will work just fine, right? But guess what? You can't plug this in because this is the old one. See how I can take my screwdriver and go like this? And the new one, screwdriver gets stuck in the middle because it's got this stupid thing in the middle that doesn't allow you to plug in your coil. So
it's a little divider that differentiates the coils, so you have to pay triple the price to get this one.
yes,
That's the only difference.
yes. Besides that, I can guarantee you this is the same coil as this, but the connector is different. Just like on N52 cars versus N54 cars, you can get like 5 different options, and one of the coils won't plug in because it's got a channel on the inside of the plug or the connector. So here we have a channel on the outside, which when you try to plug in, it just gets stuck right there. On N54s, there's no such thing, or N55 or S55. Any of those coils, they're all the same. Apparently F10 M5, they're like, we need to charge the F10 M5 tax, and then we need to charge the M tax, and then we need to charge the big ass boat tax.
So yeah, so kind of scratch what I said earlier. It's like somewhat true and somewhat not. The spark plugs look pretty bad. The coils are probably not even bad anyways, and that's probably why the car was misfiring. So we're gonna put the old coil packs in there and then replace the other ones. Not sure if I'll put that on video or not, guys. I'll figure it out. So it turns out we weren't entirely wrong. I'm on FCP Euro. The interesting thing is that my 2016 M5 uses different coils, but 2015, 2014, 2013 used the ones that we were trying to install. They're like $23 each. So as soon as we go here, go to 2016, which I believe it's the year where they changed the DMEs, the injectors, and apparently the coils. We go to M5, and then we're gonna go ahead and search coil. You only get one option, $88. $88, guys.
And that's 8 of them.
And that's 8 of them. That is a lot of money for coils. And it's only for the 2016 M5, meaning if you have a 2015 or older F10 M5 or M6, you can use the same coils that they use for the N54, S55, and so forth. 2016 M5, you essentially get shafted. That's what happens here. Part of me just wants to modify the little divider and just remove it just so I can install it. But on the back of my mind, I feel like there's something that's different with that coil for a reason. Because why would they change it? And it's 3 times the price. The pins look a little bit different, and I don't want to take a chance installing coils that don't go on that specific engine configuration. But I also don't want to spend $600-700 on coils. My God. About to rock the old ones, guys. Well, there goes another reason why I hate the S63. I mean, I love it, but I hate it because of situations like this. This sucks to, you know, put back the old coils, but taking this car to an event today, so I kind of have no choice.
When you put these back in, make sure, you know, they're all the way in, not like halfway in. Because to get back in here, yeah, good luck.
Wow.
It's like,
What the hell? And I just watched him do it too.
Don't drop it.
No, well, it's not back there, so it's easier. Don't jinx me, bro. It's slipping. Bro, it's slipping.
See that face again?
Ah! You got it. You got like a million connectors here. There's definitely a cluster F in here. Yeah, it's just like the engine beauty cover. I just learned something there. Water cooled plate.
yeah, that's why you have these hose fittings for cooling.
Okay, they're already easily accessible. That seemed a lot easier than I thought it would be. Let's see if I got fingers like Ali. No, I don't. So I'm using a screwdriver to pull these out because I don't have the rugged hands that Ali has. I almost yanked it out with the connector attached. We got a second one right here.
Look at that.
I gotta use my finger for this one. Ready?
Alien head.
Ah! Got it. Sound effects work. Oh God. Okay.
You can't even see the coil.
Yeah, it's.
All you see is your fingers.
Ready? Oh. Okay, my finger almost came off with the coil. Now it's stuck. Ah! All right, there it is. No, it's just this one has a whole bunch of lines and wire and just overlapping the top of it. Peep that, guys. It's probably the worst one yet. Is that oil? A lot of residue and buildup on it.
Might have to do an injector. Yeah, out of all the plugs, that was the only plug that was black.
When we got the code, what was it, cylinder 5? We did get a code that we read on MHD for cylinder 5, I believe. So out of all the 8 old spark plugs you guys can see, the only one that really has an issue, what seems like, is cylinder 6. This one's pretty dark as well, but this is the one, the troublesome one for sure. Since we're gonna have to go back in there and do the coils anyways, well, we'll check what the NGK spark plug looks like at that specific time, and then we'll go from there. So everything's connected. Let's see if the car starts and it runs okay.
So it's been about a day since we changed the spark plugs. Obviously we didn't do the coils because of that issue that we ran into. The car seems to drive okay. I mean, I haven't really pushed it yet, but we're about to. I got Draggy set up. You guys can see the device right there on top of the speaker. And then I have the video footage that I'm going to record once I do that 60 to 130 time. Just curious to see if I pick up a little bit of performance compared to the last time I did a Draggy run. So I only did one run, the top result right there, 8.17 seconds. It's slightly slower than my fastest time, which was 7.93 seconds. But to be fair, this was like 3 months ago. It wasn't as humid, it wasn't as hot. And I also did the Draggy time during the night versus during the day. I'm almost positive that the density altitude for the most recent one is a lot higher than the one that I got 3 months ago. Let's see. Density altitude 1,363, and density altitude for the most recent one is, yeah, you see, 2,313, guys. Almost double. It also doesn't help that I can't start from second gear because like there's no traction, so I'm starting from third gear. It would make a massive difference if I could hook in second gear, but these 295 Pirellis are no good. I need to upgrade to 305 Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss. I'm glad we were able to do some maintenance. I'm not totally done. I still gotta swap out the O2 sensors. I keep getting codes for that. I think there might be a recall on them. I'll check with BMW and see what's up. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to hit the like button before you guys leave. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time.